Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Good Morning Soul. Today we're doing a episode of that film I watched, where instead of rewatching the films that I watched way back then and doing reviews of them and getting rid of them finally out of my house, I'm just gonna do a Good Morning Soul episode on them and get them the fuck out. So, unless I actually do end up rewatching them one day, in case I do, I'll do a review. But for now, I'm doing a GMS. Today's episode is on a film called Funny People, which, to give you the cliff notes of my review, I gave it a 3 out of 5, and I tell this story where how I was really excited for it because I loved 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up, and I guess I rented it, and I was kind of like, that was not as good as I hoped, but it was pretty good. I don't even remember renting it. It's been a fucking long time since that time. 2009 is when this movie came out, so that was 9 years ago as the time of this recording. Yeah, that's a long time. But yeah, Funny People, it's weird. Judd Apatow, his career seems to be kind of just chasing the same film, and it like never came out quite right. And it's like, This Is 40 and this film are kind of like that movie, the closest he's come to making that movie. And since then, he kind of just done stand-up and worked on TV shows. You know, he's not really making big budget movies anymore as often. I don't know the guy's career as of late, in all honesty. But this film it's about Adam Sandler, who usually isn't a part of this same cast with like Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, and all them. But he's in it. He's the main character, and it's not like an Adam Sandler film. It doesn't have Adam Sandler jokes. It doesn't have the same 10 people that Adam Sandler brings into his movies. It's a Judd Apatow film with Adam Sandler. And basically, Adam Sandler is a comedian. I think his name is George Simmons. And he is super fucking depressed. And he's a comedian. He kind of just is done with being famous. He's going through the same fucking cycle over and over again. And then one day he finds out he has cancer and he has an 8% chance of living. So after that, he kind of just goes about his routine, but like we see his world unravel before him. He meets this local comedian and he likes his stand-up enough to where he's like, hey, I can make you fucking famous and do all these things for you. Why don't you fucking show up and follow me around and make a career off of that? Which is crazy. And Seth Rogen's character, he's an average ass guy who's also a comedian. He's passionate about it, but there's like 100 other versions of him in the tri-state area. So he's kind of just mystified to all this. He's a very basic bitch kind of guy. He feels like a super young, like inexperienced dude. I can relate to that. Like a younger me probably related to him a lot. But Adam Sandler just destroys him. Like, since he's about to die, he doesn't give a fuck about anything. There's this great scene where they take these two girls back to his apartment, and Seth Rogen isn't able to seal the deal with his lady. Adam Sandler, who instantly has sex with the one, and then he escorts the other one out, and he's like, fuck it, I'll have sex with you too. And then Seth Rogen's like, okay. But this film, it's a dramedy. Like, there's a lot of really emotional scenes, but that's mixed in with like your average Judd Apatow comedy. So we get like scenes with Seth Rogen and guys like who else is in this fucking movie? I think Aziz Ansari is in this film, and he does that one line that's in that Drake song where he's like, I'm about to be getting fucking paid for this. Can't get no more free, Randy. We get a lot of stuff like that, and it's mixed in with like these serious scenes about death. And unlike, there's a film called 50/50, which is also on my list of that films I watched, and that is kind of like a better version of what they're trying to do here. This film, I think, could have been great if not for this whole second half story that they're trying to fill in with Adam Sandler. And basically, okay, I really like the first half of this film. Some of the characters, like I think it's Jonah Hill's roommate, who's also like a teacher in some show. Don't really care for that dude. I feel he could have been cut out. There's a lot of really great stuff in that first half. Eminem and Bo Burnham are in this film, and their cameos I really liked. But the second half is basically Judd Apatow's, I don't know, like his like some kind of midlife crisis directing, where he has, I think, Leslie Mann, his wife, and basically she's getting married to this Australian douchebag, but they have this nice home and their kids are doing good and everything's, you know, white family America. And, you know, Adam Sandler's kind of like the anomaly guy who's like her ex-fiance, and they have this weird relationship that they're kind of getting back into, and Leslie Mann kind of falls back into the fold with this guy, and there's this big random fight scene. And this entire portion of the movie I would have cut out and replaced with something else, because I don't give a fuck. It's kind of like, I do like the idea that Adam Sandler is going through this terrible emotional roller coaster, and this is in the trailer. I don't think they should have gave it away, but spoilers. He finds out that he's going to live, and that changes his perspective on things. It has this kind of super bad rip-off ending where it's kind of him and Seth Rogen just kind of shooting the shit. It kind of is just like, oh yeah, comedy at the end of the day. Like our passion, that's kind of like the big like lesson, I guess, is let's just be us. But basically, Adam Sandler and this weird relationship he has with Leslie Mann, it's like she is like his silver lining, because this film and like Clapping for the Wrong Reasons, which is a short film, a couple stories, like it's hard for me to empathize with famous people who are like, oh, it's so hard to be famous, like all these songs I've heard about it and whatnot. There's a couple stories where it's like people in these big ass houses and just feeling nothing. I got that from seeing just Adam Sandler's house, because it was just tragic being in there. Like people like these movies, but they're kind of bullshit fucking movies that he's in, and he's obviously not satisfied or not proud of what he's done. It's kind of just whatever. It's all whatever to him. He's not doing anything cool or special. So you can just feel his like lack of emotion as people are like, oh yeah, look at all this fucking cool shit you've been in. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. And it's kind of like, oh, Leslie Mann is his one actual bit of human that he like still attaches to. He's like, at least like there's her. So when shit goes south with her, it's like, okay, he's ready to die. But yeah, that's basically the synopsis of Funny People. It has some really good jokes and some jokes that kind of fall flat. I feel like Jonah Hill was kind of underutilized. This whole thing again with Leslie Mann, I find it weird that Judd Apatow is putting his actual wife and kids in these movies, and then like watching Adam Sandler relive his youth or something with these scenes. It's fucking weird. I don't know. Anyway, That's what I thought of Funny People. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 if I watched it today. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I thought it was a fun movie. It was funny. I felt it could have been a great movie if not for some of the Judd Apatow bullshit drama that he likes to inject into some of his work. But other than that, enjoyed it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching as always. I'll see you next time, and until then, with that, I leave you.